Hello everyone, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing fantastic. We are back again for some more Elder Scrolls Blades, and quite a few things have happened. For those of you that haven't kept up with the series, oh my goodness gracious, there's a lot of things that have changed with this game. I love how this game is getting so much hate when in actuality it's probably one of the better free-to-play phone games. For one, there's no ads that you're constantly spammed with, and then on top of that, the cash shop is actually constantly being adjusted. So they also have in the loot boxes, you know, we've already seen updates where they nerfed silver chests, so those don't take nearly as long to end up opening. But there was also something that I didn't get on camera, unfortunately, but they basically have they had like cash shop items that would eventually end up showing up at certain intervals, certain levels and stuff like that. So you could quite literally go into the cash shop and there would be like an artifact weapon or something, right? And you could actually just literally buy it with money, and it would be like this really OP item or something like that. I'm just grabbing some of our free junk here. They've actually removed that because of complaints. So now the only way of actually getting artifacts is from, I think, legendary chests or elder chests. I think these have a chance of actually dropping artifacts, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, an artifact is at 1%. Now, the reason why this is important is, as far as I know, the elder chests are the only things that can actually drop in the abyss. I don't know if you can actually get a legendary chest any means outside of cash shop. I've looked at a bunch of videos, and these elder chests are pretty bad because the legendary items that you can end up getting, you get one guaranteed legendary, you can get another one, and then it's a 15% chance on top of that to get another one. Legendary items are not to be confused with artifact items. Legendaries are just an item that has high stat values. Now, the other thing too is that these items will actually generate for your level. So I actually saw a guy that literally spent like $100 on legendary chests on YouTube, and it was like, it was so... Oh, it made me like so sad because he opened them all at like level 7, and it was like, so it generated really, really bad legendary items for him instead of really powerful ones. And yeah, I pay to win this game, okay? Leave me alone. You can see my gem count. It went up. I'm not going to spend any more money on this game, but what? I enjoy this game, and honestly, I wanted to put down the money because I wanted to support this game because I think that it's great. So the other thing, too, that we've done is Poop Town has leveled up quite a bit, but, well, it's going to level up in quite a bit because I actually have a couple things down here that I haven't opened yet. So we got the Alchemy Laboratory. There we go. Got a ton of XP for Poop Town, as you can see. And then we've got our house right over here. This should get us to level 3. Not exactly sure. I'm hoping that it does. Boop. And apparently, I've had a real-life friend of mine giving me lots of tips on this game because he's really, really into it, right? Shops can now be upgraded to level 3. That is awesome. So this is what I was waiting for. We pretty much have to buy these. They're like the items that you get out of these are insane considering the amount of gems that you put towards them. So it's like 100 copper, 250 lumber, 250 limestone. All of these things are like, that's the equivalent of doing like 50 dungeons or something like that right there. So we're just gonna buy it, no questions asked. Level 10 is the maximum for a town. So, you know, it's like they've got like these other items, packets that keep coming up further and further along as we get to certain points in the town. But apparently you get bonus XP if you build a house on runes. And then basically what we can do is we could destroy this dwelling and then just move it on top of the runes. And then we would end up getting that bonus XP. And that's going to be permanent bonus XP. But if we end up building a house on runes and then we remove the house, it actually is going to get rid of the runes. So it's a way that you can end up making your town look a lot more cool and stuff like that, right? So we actually got a large decoration, which, if I'm not mistaken, right down here is going to end up being the large decoration site. I've also got tons of levels that I've been waiting to share with you guys. So similarly to what I was mentioning with the ruins, that's beautiful, is if we end up putting an item, like we could take this tree and move it to another slot that would be a large decorative slot, and again, every time we end up putting it down an item for the first time only, we're going to end up getting that bonus amount of XP, and it's going to be a set amount of XP. It's not like the different decoration items are going to end up having different ramifications for that. So let's see, we should, yeah, see, there we go. Look at those resources right there. I was just barely able to afford the level 3 smithy before we started today, and because we ended up like buying that pack, that like just man alive, the amount of resources that we got, so that's gonna take 40 mans, so we're not gonna see what that looks like today. Another thing too is as we end up leveling up, if you end up closing the game and reopening it anytime you accidentally end up opening this screen, you'll end up going back to the main game. I'll show you guys my gear in a second, but basically you can stock up levels. So I think we've got like a bunch of levels right now saved up, because as far as I was reading, level 10 and up, we end up getting a bunch of different perks and stuff. So right now I'm going to be going for Magicka, because I know what build I want to actually go for. What is this? Okay, a legendary chest, 50% off. You know what? Screw it. Let's just go for it. I'll grab it. I'll save that for later. I'm not going to open it now. We'll open that when we're at a higher level or something. Because that's... Oh, no! Is it going to auto-open? Oh, no! I didn't want it to do that. It better not give me a weapon. I swear. Please don't give me a weapon. Mace of Scorching. Oh, man. Stupid game. I didn't want to open that. That's a garbage item, dude. That may be a legendary, but that's trash, and I don't need gold. I mean, at least we got the gauntlets, but the Mace of Scorching, even though that's pretty cool, it's not going to top the weapon that we've actually got right now. Now, here's the thing is, this would be a good weapon, except I already have that cash shop artifact that they ended up removing out of the store, right? So, rip me. At least we got a lot of resources, including silver ingots, so that's going to end up being very useful for us. But as far as my build is concerned, again, that real life friend of mine, him and I think very similarly, so I kind of took his advice and been looking through like all the different stats and abilities and stuff like that. Basically, he builds his character the same as I would, where it's all passive abilities. So basically, if we end up getting blizzard armor, we end up giving ourselves, a layer of ice with 97 health instantly covers the caster, so we get more defensive, but we also are doing passive frost damage. And there's a couple other abilities that will end up doing something similar to that. I'm not going to end up going into any of the abilities though, because there is actually, I think it's this one right here, where so long as it increases health generation while stamina is high. So basically, if we have max stamina, we can slowly end up just regenning over time, which is extremely useful as just a passive ability, and, ends up helping us out detrimentally. So we unfortunately will have to invest into the skill tree in order to end up going for that, but I also want to go for that blizzard armor again as well. So why can't I do this? Because I don't have enough skill points. You can always reset your character, but of course that's going to end up costing gems. I'll show you my gear in a sec, I know, because I found this guy. He's actually going to cost 2, unfortunately, but he does actually let us change our looks. So I just kind of went with a Nord just because frost resistant damage with great swords. I'm not really using great swords because honestly they're not really viable. And then I realized, wait a minute, why wasn't I an Argonian? Why wasn't I a reptilian? Like, we always have to be a reptilian. We've got that extra health regen, so that'll be nice. But then we've got 5% extra damage with daggers, hand axes, and light hammers, which honestly I'm never going to end up using anyways, but it doesn't really matter. So let's take a quick little peek, see what we can do for this guy. That's kind of a nice green. Sure, I'll go for that. His face shape, I honestly don't know if any of this actually matters, but you guys get to kind of see the customization of the character, because you didn't get to see this beforehand. Because like I said, when I just first started playing this game, I like the feathers. When I first started playing this game, I just kind of started right away. So there's quite a few options, even though it's funny that they even have these options, because you literally don't get to look at your character, like what is even the point? So we could either just, okay, never mind. I guess we're going to take the, where's Feather Boy? Was that 4? Yeah, and then hair color is just going to have a couple different options. Kind of looks a little bit weird here, honestly speaking, but I don't know. I guess we'll go with purple, right? Why not? And then also, if I'm not mistaken, is our color right now, that might be a yellow rather than a green, or, oh no, that's the yellow. Okay, so let's go for, I guess it's a green. It's kind of a yellowish, but whatever. Let's just go for it. It's going to cost me a couple more gems. Whatever. So what? That's why this crazy guy comes around and he's like, I think I know you, and blah, blah, blah. Like, he's kind of a weirdo in that regard. Oh, yeah, we also had a gold chest, I noticed, too. I got one of these from the Abyss. Slowly, I'm just opening boxes in general off camera, and I just like to try and have at least one available, like, for you guys so we can end up opening it on camera here. Another thing too is you'll kind of notice at the top middle of our screen we've got a certain amount of chests and we got a certain amount of inventory slots. So we do gotta keep that in mind. We're at 25 out of 30 inventory slots. So yeah. But let me actually swap over to the character menu here. If it ever would go, like sometimes the menu is too sticky. But see, we got Bloodthirst. So I'm actually very fortunate that I was able to grab this sword out of the cash shop, because now, again, like I said, they're removed. And this, for all intents and purposes, this is pretty much the strongest sword in the game. Everything that I've read up online is just always talking about how all the other weapons that you could have gotten out of the cash shop were just absolutely useless in comparison, because this is the only weapon that actually has a lifesteal to it, even though it's not really that good. But it's got increased attack speed and reduces targets maximum health by 17. So it's a pretty good sword on top of being very damage oriented. I've been looking into, just for myself, there's all of the, what's it called? Like the two-handed swords, the two-handed artifact weapons and stuff like that. Because I love two-handed swords in games, but they are just not viable in this game. Like there's not really any reason to go for them. Maybe there would be if I could find like a two-handed fire sword, or more likely a two-handed ice sword. Because an ice sword would kind of have the, then we could end up slowly building up more and more ice damage. So we do actually have this silver thing here, and this thing is going to scale pretty well just because it does do 44 fire damage on top of its main damage. But I mean, our Bloodthirst is still going to basically be double the damage anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Wait, what the? Oh, I see. And then, it's not going to end up having as much reach because that is actually a thing as far as the gear is concerned. We've got our steel armor right now. We could end up gaining iron and stuff like that, but we got our steel, we got our Watcher's helmet, and we still got our full steel set, which at least we do actually have these reinforced steel gauntlets. So this is going to increase our shock damage. Increase physical damage by 9 against suffering conditions. So the other thing too that's kind of annoying about this game is that weapons will actually do different damage values. So swords do slashing, axes do cleaving, maces and blunt weapons do bludgeoning, and that will actually do more damage to certain enemies. And it's actually like a lot better to use the weakness of an enemy to end up just steamrolling your way through with whatever weapon you've got. So I guess that's where the argument would be that you would try to get to the end game, and to be a true end game at this, you would have like an artifact of every weapon type, depending on the situation, right? So fine iron boots, that's not, nope. I need to repair my stuff too, like Jiminy Crockett. We will end up doing a quest. I know that we're kind of just spending a lot of our time here in town, but oh no, I can't repair anything because it's under construction. Can I force this to, 7? That's actually really cheap. Seriously, because you can get that from dungeons. Another really quick pro tip is if you go into a dungeon, don't complete the objective. Get all the way up to right at the end, and let's say that an enemy drops a gem, because sometimes they will. You can actually take off all your armor, let yourself die. You take off your armor so you don't take durability damage. And as you die, you'll be able to repeat the dungeon so long as the objective isn't completed. And it's going to end up generating with all of the same items that it did for that run. So the enemy that dropped a gem will continuously drop a gem. And you can use that to farm various resources in the game as well. Because if you end up completing the dungeon, the quest might end up coming back in your quest log. But if you end up going back to it again, it's not going to end up generating with the same items and everything like that, right? So let's go to repair. This is probably going to be a brutal repair cost. Okay, that's actually not that bad. But we are able to craft now. So we can craft silver items. More particularly, I'm looking at, we can craft silver armor now, which would be good, but honestly, we're getting pretty close to getting to Orcish anyways, so I'm not too concerned. We might just skip over silver. Again, we do still have quite a few extra levels here. And again, I want to go for the Magicka just because we're going to be using that for, a lot of our other bashing abilities and magic abilities and stuff like that. Because magic is pretty much just OP in this game. Unfortunately, that seems to just be the route to take. Perks that you end up getting for using stamina-based abilities, it doesn't really seem to work out that well. I mean, it might end up working out if we ended up going for a specific build. Like maybe we could make a weird two-handed build that was based on like bludgeoning, because unfortunately one of the only good artifacts that's a two-handed weapon, I think anyways, is Malik Bal's mace, which is I mean, that was in Skyrim and stuff like that. But either way, we've still got more levels here. So I'm just going to keep on going for the Magicka. 40 gems, that's actually really nice. That's the other thing, too. Like, I love how the game actually rewards you with good rewards, you know? And the other thing, too, is we're sitting here keeping all of our... we're going to be keeping all of our skill perks so that we can end up... Ooh, an Elder Chest. For 500, that's, I mean, we literally just saw that it's automatically gonna open up and it's just gonna end up giving us an epic, which is not worth getting at this early in the game. I think that's just quite literally a beginner's trap, like seriously. So in order to get this, we need to be level 15, so we're getting kind of close to that, but that doesn't really matter so much. And all those other abilities that we've got don't really matter either. So I ended up also completing some challenges. So these are going to end up showing up pretty much every hour. I just ignore ones that are cleaving because I don't actually have like an axe or anything like that. Oh, whoopsie daisy. And then I guess rather than doing like normal dungeons and junk like that, like we could just be doing jobs. We've got the Glow Dust Galler one or whatever. Let's actually do one of the main quests here because I really got to catch up. You know, like look at that. We're getting a Steel Dagger as a reward for crying out loud. Like we've got to get some of this main quest stuff done because when I'm grinding off camera, I don't want to progress the story or anything like that. So what I'm actually doing, ooh, a new environment. What I'm actually doing is just doing the jobs over and over. So I don't know what's going on. The green fire wasn't natural. Those mercenaries have no idea what blah 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 blah. Can I just fight you? Like what is how about a little sparring, idiot? Okay, I'm gonna be like super powerful compared to you. They're trying to teach us to use like proper timing blocks, but it doesn't really matter. And we can use our stamina-based abilities right now just because, you know, again, we don't actually have the perk of having more life regen or anything like that. What's on your mind? Nothing important. We'll talk later. Fare thee well. Oh, that's it? I'll just complete that dungeon. I literally don't think there's any items over there. Like that was a cool environment. I think that's kind of teasing the PvP environment because they don't have PvP in the game yet, but they are going to eventually. And that's what it kind of looks like. It's just from what I've seen from screenshots anyways, it's like a desert arena. Obtain information about the mercenaries. Hey, why not? We've got enough time, right? Let's go and do this one real quick. Maybe we can end up doing all three of these, hopefully. Secrets found, 0 of 1. I was wondering if dungeons actually told you how many secrets there were. So now that means there's going to be a secret entrance somewhere in here, which is arguably very cool. Oh, finally an outdoor dungeon. Finally an outdoor dungeon. All I've ever seen is just the same dungeon like over and over again, which doesn't really bother me so much, you know, because I like grindy games like this. Like, I think that's why I enjoy this game so much, but it's like, I'm always just sitting there wondering, like, how come I'm never seeing an outdoor dungeon? Like, why isn't that in my random quests yet? Maybe it's because I haven't advanced enough in the story. Who's this dude, like, just... this baller just waiting on the bridge. Are you a bandit or something? Stop right there. I just want to talk to you. What's your favorite color while you're at it? Okay. I was just making a joke. Man, our character is such a weeb. Well, anyways, can I attack this guy? Why can't I engage him? Okay, we're having a race, huh? I'll see you at the end, dude. I've gotten really good at moving my character with my 2 thumbs on my screen. Oh no, he's gonna pass me because this stupid rat is gonna stop me. And I'm gonna get distracted by these other resources. Oh no. I hate fighting these rats because you gotta get like the perfect timing in order to get your attacks off. And it's really, really annoying sometimes because if you miss your attack for any reason, usually because of lag or something, like because the environment's loading or what have you, then it's like, oh, now you gotta wait like 5 whole seconds before you can end up attacking them again. Like, I just don't like the beast characters. Hey, you got ahead of me, stupid. Whatever. Can I fight your boss? Hey, what are you doing? It's your funeral. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but whatever. I'll just fight him. Why are they trying to get me? Like, it's like now they're trying to tutorialize me on the blocking. Dude, I'm already like a skilled combative warrior who's like super duper powerful. Like, seriously. So basically what they are trying to teach us with the blocking is for a split second when you end up blocking, you're actually going to be blocking higher up than you would normally. And if an enemy attacks you within that small window, they're going to end up getting stunned. But you can continuously hold the block button, and then afterwards, you're just going to end up doing a normal block, which isn't going to be anything like super duper impressive or anything. I can also just kind of rush through this Normally I would be exploring. Also, the fact that this area does have a secret does have me curious, because that means that we could probably end up like going inside one of these houses or something, even though it doesn't seem to actually be letting me. What? Something about your men are losers? Why are we even fighting each other? You're nothing but a bunch of idiots. You don't deserve to live. Oh my gosh. Like, my character is evil, dude. What is going on? Let me grab whatever that random item was. I don't care about the other items. Let's just complete it. Like, why are these guys talking to me? They're supposed to be like mercenaries, and I'm literally like breaking into their camp, attacking everybody. And he's like, "Ah, yes, we must have a conversation before we annihilate each other." What? So did you learn anything? I don't know. Maybe I'm not really paying attention to the story. I don't play. How about a little sparring? I thought you'd never ask. Okay, I don't really. What? Practice with Hendrig's swords guy. Okay, can I spar with you? How about a little sparring? I thought you'd never ask. Meet me in the arena when you're ready. Oh, is that what this is? Ah, I see. Well, that's okay. What was practice with Hendrik? Defeat your old mentor. Okay, fine. I'll do it. Whatever. we got enough time. It should be like 2 seconds, right? And then that might be all the time that we have for this episode anyways. Oh my gosh, he's gonna talk to me again. You know what? At least it makes sense that this guy would be talking to me. So the other spell that I keep casting is Absorb. I'm surprised that he didn't take fatal damage, by the way. Absorb is super duper OP. Basically, as enemies end up doing damage to us, we'll absorb it into health. So that's why that, in combination with the life regen, the life steal of our sword and such, like, we just end up becoming kind of a force to be reckoned with. You know what I mean? So we'll talk to those Irish idiots in a minute. I want to see... I've never seen this laboratory thing. What is all this? Okay, so this is where we could literally buy pots. That's actually not bad. What about brew potions and turn the sides of bat? Oh gosh. Fire resistance, frost resistance, stamina magic. Okay. Enchanting is going to be something useful, that's for sure, but I don't really care about potion stuff. Like, that literally does not interest me in the least. So we'll just skip right on over that. What's it going to take to upgrade our smithy again? Requires town level 4. Oh, great, obviously. Okay. So I'm going to have to place down more houses and stuff, I guess. Maybe we can end up placing down... Can we put down... Oh, we can put down a workshop. What is this? Workshop handles the construction of statues, banners, and other town flourishes, and also sells construction materials like lumber, limestone, and copper. Okay, that's not bad. That actually was also almost about to level us up completely, but I'll grab that. I guess I'll throw it down here somewhere. I'm trying to keep all of my shops and stuff like that nearby so that we can, you know, have them all like, and I always like having a nice hub area, you know what I mean? So that's going to take an hour. What does it cost? 15? That's so cheap. I'm just going to take it. Like, why is that so cheap? And then, like, opening boxes and other things are so super duper expensive. Like, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. All right, crazy lady, what do you got for me? So we can shop, buy limestone and stuff. Also, another thing that's important to note is that shopkeepers will, similarly to Skyrim, have a limited amount of gold and resources. So it does pay a lot of times to buy all of the items out of their shop, just so that you can start selling your stuff for a lot more, you know? But we gotta level up our town here, which we might actually be able to just afford in 2 seconds. I do want to throw down one more house up here in these ruins, because we just need that little bit more XP. Unfortunately, these are kind of expensive. 9 hours. So a dwelling takes 9 hours. Normal house takes 9 hours. Okay, all of these kind of take 9 hours. I guess that's just because our town is like super expensive, right? But look how quickly we get to just skip through this. That's really expensive, but I'm going to take it anyways, because if there's any that I would rather be waiting for AFK, it's our smithy, because like I said, I want to just skip right up. Enchanter's Tower unlocks. Shops can now be or leveled up to 4. Oh gosh, well, here goes even more gems. This game is... The cash shopness in this game is pretty crazy, but hey, you know what? Like, I've already looked, there's actually a lot of really good websites that show you everything that you can buy in this game. Some of them are a little bit out of date, but honestly speaking, these are probably, if you're going to spend money on anything, it's those, because that is the equivalent of hundreds of dungeons grinded just for the resources alone. Like it's pretty crazy. So let's upgrade this. So that's going to be 4,000 gold. We got plenty of gold. That's only going to take an hour, so that's 16. Let's just go for it. Whatever. I don't even have Archilium. So the other thing too is I got recommended. Lots of people kept telling me you should not actually like. I shouldn't actually level up to Archilium because we don't actually have the silver resource. Because as far as I've heard, I think the older resources will end up becoming more expensive as we end up leveling up the smithy. So it might have been a big mistake for me to just kind of skip us up to Orcish. But now at least we should be able to do some dungeons and stuff and try to get our hands on it. So Orcish armor in the Skyrim look anyways is one of my favorite like types of armor. So we can also get the Enchanter's Tower, which is awesome. This is going to be the big one. This is the game changer right here because this is enchanting, which enchanting, those of you that have played Skyrim know, is like super duper OP because we literally can imbue our weapons and armor with different enchantments. There's only, I think there's only vampiric gauntlets, and those are the only other items that have lifesteal. Otherwise, I don't think you can get lifesteal on anything else vanilla, which is, again, why this sword that we got out of the cash shop is like super duper OP, right? But anyways, that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. So I got to clear up my inventory and stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Very much appreciate it. And we're going to keep continuing this series because I still just genuinely enjoy this game. Otherwise, have yourselves a great day. Sign on. Stay epic.